Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
Hello, everyone. This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation, Asia Pacific. Welcome, BV Jagadeesh, and also thank you for joining our interview program. Would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yes. First of all, Roger, thank you so much for having me as part of this. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be associated with University of San Francisco and then be part of this. I came to this country in 1982, and I actually had already finished my master's degree in India itself, and I had worked for a couple of years, and I happened to just get a job in a Silicon Valley high technology company. And since then, pretty much I have worked all my life until I started my own in 1993. I pretty much had worked in mostly startup companies. So I was sort of fortunate to work with different kinds of startup companies so that even though I was an engineer for many, many years, I got to actually see different aspects of building the product and then bringing the product to the market as well. I started my own first company end of 1993, which is Excellence Communications, where we pioneered the whole concept of internet data centers. We had version 1 of the AWS cloud that we used to offer to our customers. The company, we went public in 1998. I left the company in 2000 to start another company called NetScaler, which actually solved the problem for this hyper growth that the data centers were experiencing because of the server inefficiency. We dramatically reduced almost like 10:1 in terms of the number of servers that people used to deploy before to people deployed with the NetScaler. So that reduced tremendous data center footprint consumption, power consumption, the overall cost of running a data center for corporations. And that company, as you know, after 9/11, the entire market sort of collapsed. So we'll discuss that a little bit later. But eventually we came back and we built a flagship product, the NetScaler load balancers, which then started to do extremely well. And in 2005, Citrix came forward to acquire us. So for the last 10, 12 years or so, I've been primarily focused as an angel investor, and I'm working with the next generation of entrepreneurs, mostly in B2B and enterprise infrastructure, software, SaaS companies. About 40% of my time I spend on nonprofit organizations, both in the US as well as in India.
Discussion topic: lessons, how to grow from startups to companies.
Any other kind of lessons you observed or you experienced as companies scale up or manage the growth phase?
Yeah, so as the company starts to scale up, the systems, processes, a lot of these things should start coming in place, right? So like a customer service organization. So meaning initially, let's assume the customer service, customer support is mostly driven by engineering. Okay, you cannot continue to do that, right? You now have to start investing in real customer support, because if you go and win, let's say a Fortune 500 kind of company, and the support they need, 24/7 support across wherever you call from, and they would have deployed your products across the globe, right? So which means if you don't provide that 24/7 support and a clear process, a methodology, that means the company needs to invest in all these systems and processes, right? You cannot continue to operate like in this ad hoc startup sort of a mode. And what happens is, I've seen this in the companies, employees are not used to the discipline day one.
Okay.
And now you start putting them into this discipline mode, meaning, hey, when you write the code, you have to document the whole thing. And typically for an engineer, documentation is the most boring part. Right? But as a company, it's very important that these things are documented so that if you quit tomorrow, right, I don't have to be calling you to come back and consult with me.
Yeah, we call
The
it
next guy should-
institutional memory. Yeah.
Exactly. Right? I mean, I had, for example, I had a inside salesperson, and this person, everything she used to do on a piece of paper, all the leads, 100% of the leads that she was, and she was the number one inside salesperson that we had, right? Now, as the company is transitioning from startup into the mainstream, we got Salesforce, and we asked her to start putting all that stuff into systems and then start documenting. And she's like, man, allow me to go and close sales, right? Why are you guys torturing me? This is not productive. Yeah. So that's the challenge. And I think as the company is moving, right, if you start bringing these systems ahead of time so that it should not become a torture to the employees. And that helps from the scaling perspective.
Yeah.
And luckily today, right, unlike in the past, because at Exodus, for example, when we implemented a CRM system from Siebel, we had to pay for the software license $1 million. And implementation by KPMG was $4 million. Can you imagine? And today, you know, I can kick off a HubSpot or a Salesforce for $30, $40 per person, almost overnight. Yeah. So if I have 10 salespeople, I'm paying like $400 a month, which is not that bad. I don't need to invest a significant amount of money and time in building these kind of things.
Thank you for watching.